for an important bulletin. A deadly high-speed pursuit between police and armed...
The Incredibles and The Incredibles 2 is a masterclass in why you should never ever ghost your fans. Enter Buddy Pine. He was a sweet, hyper-intelligent kid with rocket boots and a dream. What did Bob Parr do? He hit him with the supernatural equivalent of new phone, who dis?
Who are you supposed to be?
Well, I'm Incrediboy.
What? No. You're that kid from the fan club. Brody. Buddy.
My name is Incrediboy. Can I get around so fast? See, I have these rocket boots.
Go home, buddy.
What?
Now.
Take these. I can fly. Can you fly?
Fly home, buddy.
Bob rejected him hard, told the child to go home. The moment shattered Buddy's fragile ego and turned a nice kid into a terrible redheaded tech tyrant named Syndrome. He spent 15 years building death robots just to spite his ex-idol. Talk about holding a grudge. Meanwhile, the total Parr family, the mess. Bob is having a midlife crisis. Helen is trying to keep the house from burning down. Violet is hiding behind her hair, and Dash is vibrating at a frequency that could shatter glass. They aren't a team, they are just people sharing a kitchen, and a family held together by glue. But then, somehow Syndrome, someone named Syndrome, might I add, captures Bob on a volcano island. The family has to finally stop fucking up and step up. When they finally fight the old Omnidroid in the city, the magic happens. They finally have a step-by-step plan. Violet drops her force fields right when Bob needs cover, Dash acts as the ultimate distraction, and Helen stretches into literal safety net. By beating Syndrome and his robot, they stop acting like roommates. They start acting like a unit. They learn that their powers are cool, but they are the strongest when they protect each other. I really like how this movie acts like a satire to real life. Bob is sick and tired of his office job. He's sick and tired of that little midget he has to listen to every day, and he wants to get back to the good old days with Frozen. And like I said in my other videos, and you can check them out if you want, this movie has stayed relatively popular in modern culture because it's extremely memeable. I'm sure everybody knows that it was one of the very first memes that ever came out. Honey, where's my super suit? I really like how they basically, the main villains, used Bob's insecurity as an older man to get back to the older days to trap him in a volcano island. I thought that was very clever, and they made the woman extremely attractive to basically bait him into coming back into being a superhero again. That was a very clever move on their part. Also, these movies being made in 2007 and 2018 respectively, these movies look and sound and feel better than anything modern coming out. It blows my fucking mind. I've been rewatching these movies lately, and it just blows my mind. Even Megamind, the last movie I reviewed, looks better than most Pixar, DreamWorks, and all those films today. They look like fucking dog shit, and they sound like dog shit. And yet, these movies from 2007, nearly 20 fucking years ago, look better than anything that are coming out today. I mean, Iron Giant is over 20 years old, and it looks better than some movies today. It blows my fucking mind. Anyway, let's cut to Incredibles 2, which takes place exactly 0.5 fucking seconds after the first movie. Despite saving the fucking world, they are still illegal. The government shuts them down. Enter a billionaire who says, "Hey, let's fix your PR. Let's use the mom because she doesn't destroy 3 skyscrapers every time she fucking sneezes." And of course, we gotta shove them in there because we all know we gotta trust Better Call Saul, right? You fucking Saul Goodman, right? Literally, it's literally him, guys. He's just playing Saul Goodman from fucking Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. I really feel for Bob on this one because they passed the torch to his wife Helen. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I really don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a cool narrative tool. They kind of flipped the last movie on its head because Bob was out in the last one. Helen had to stay home, and now Bob has to stay home, and Helen is out. I think that's a cool plot twist. And you know, all of a sudden, Helen is riding a cool motorcycle, and saving trains, while Bob is stuck at home doing the scariest thing known to man, new math. Bob is sleep deprived, Violet is angry about a boy, Dash wants waffles, Jack is phasing through walls and fighting raccoons. The family dynamic is completely fucking flipped. Bob wants to be the hero, but his new job is now supporting the team from the sidelines at home. When the villain, Evelyn Davella, literally Evil Endeavor, great naming there Pixar, brainwashes Helen and the other heroes, the kids have to step up. They don't wait to be saved. They steal the Incredibile, cruise to a giant yacht, and break the mind control. The final battle isn't just Bob punching things. It is Helen steering a runaway ship, Violet protecting everyone from a crashing plane, and Bob tossing Jack around like a cute radioactive football. They don't just beat the villain, they balance the family budget of responsibilities. What I love about this, it's obviously not as good as the first one, but it's almost as good. What I like about the second Incredibles is Screenslaver is basically right in front of our faces. You can pretty much guess the villain, right off the grip. But her powers are very interesting. She has the power to basically hypnotize you and make you her slave and do whatever she wants. It's a very interesting concept down at its core, and you can pretty much guess that she's the villain from the very rip. And I like how they try to play it off like we're stupid, when we all know obviously she's the villain. But they do something quite interesting that I like. They basically frame the brother as, I absolutely love superheroes, and then they frame the sister as, I absolutely fucking hate superheroes. And they do it geniusly by making their parents die in a very tragic way. Not really necessarily to the superheroes' fault, because superheroes were illegal. And their parents had a phone line directly to superheroes. And if your superheroes are illegal, therefore that phone line's legal. And there's nobody gonna fucking answer you. So it's not really their fault as to why their parents died. It's kind of the parents' fault. Like, why don't you have a fucking gun in your house? Kids movie, and I get that. But then again, why don't you have a fucking gun in your house? Why rely on somebody else, you dickface, you stupid fuck? So I can kind of understand where she's coming from. But then again, blaming other people because your father is a fucking dumbass does not make it okay to turn people into your slaves and make them do your bidding. I mean, whatever the fuck. I guess it is just a kid's movie, so I shouldn't be reading that deep into it. But I am. So, anyway, I do genuinely believe that The Incredibles 2 is a good movie because it ties everything together and it brings the family back together as one unit. So, what is the ultimate lesson of this duology? First, if a kid with rocket boots wants to be your sidekick, just give him a high five and buy him ice cream. It will save you a lot of trouble later. A family that fights giant robots together stays together. Anyway, if you like what you hear, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you.
Yeah, I've got time.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.